Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today I want to talk about this concept of performance. And I feel that a lot of people are on this concept of this sense of being on a hamster wheel. They work jobs that they're not very happy with, or they're doing something in their lives like a bad habit that they don't know how to break. And I just want to talk about things that I do that have changed my life and things that I prefer to do that the general population doesn't do, or things that the general population does do and things that I don't do. So this topic is, the title of this video is called, It's Not About Performance, It's About Living a Life That You Cherish. And it isn't for me just listing a ton of habits and then calling it a day. It's an integrated system that I have. It's they're lifestyle choices that I've integrated into my life that have made my life better. So I want to talk about one of the first things that I do. And one of the first things that I do in the morning is I wake up very early. And it's very interesting when I tell people that I wake up very early, because a lot of people kind of look at me very strangely and they're like, well, why would you ever want to get up that early? That sounds terrible. And they don't operate the same way that I operate. They don't have the same concept of wanting to add more time to their life to have a better quality of life. And I disagree with sleeping in and then going to a job that you hate. I think that that's terrible. I think that's a terrible way to live. And I hope that that's not what you're doing right now. And if you are, then I hope that you make changes in your life so you will have a better quality of life. So one of the things that I like to do is arise early. I get up at about 4:56 a.m. in the morning. And I do this because I like having very quiet mornings. I like having mornings that are not chaotic. I like having mornings that are not rushed. So I will start at about 4:56 in the morning, and I do most of what a lot of people would do later in the day. I just get it done early in the morning. I like to do stretching in the morning. I like to have hot tea in the morning. I like to write in the morning. I like to do more intense exercise either in the morning or in the afternoon, depending on my day. But there are many things that I like to get done. I like to do a lot of kind of mind mapping in the morning, where I'm writing about how I want to be continuing my businesses, how I want my life vision to be, all of those things. I really enjoy writing in the morning, writing my volumes, writing for pleasure, writing for clarity and peace of mind. Another thing that I really love to do early in the morning when it's quiet, I like to take baths at night. I don't like to take hot baths in the morning. That's pretty rare for me. But what I do like to do very early in the morning is praying with rain sounds or praying with harp music. That's very helpful for me for mind clarity and purpose and progress. And then affirmations are very important to me too. I like to do affirmations in the morning. The other thing that I like to do on top of journaling is hydration. And then if I have supplements, then I'll take supplements. And the other thing that I want to talk about is reading. I like to read anywhere from about 25, more leaning now toward about 50 pages a day of just reading. I like reading books. I love reading books because it's this concept of self-improvement and it's this concept of self-learning. You don't need to go to school for 12 years and get multiple degrees to become financially successful. It just isn't really the way anymore. I feel like it's a huge waste of money to be spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, $250,000, $350,000, $400,000 on school when you can learn, self-learn, and become financially successful in that manner. If I could go back and redo everything, I wouldn't have gone to school as many years as I did. I would have rather started my businesses at about 17 years old or 19 years old. So that's a piece of advice that I'd like to give the younger generation is, if you are considering, please realize that this is more of a gamble than anything. and you may find better success just running your own businesses and becoming an entrepreneur. I want to talk about more forms of exercise. So, for more forms of exercise, what do I have noted here? I love having an extremely healthy body. I feel that having an extremely healthy body allows you to become more productive. And I don't want to just talk about productivity on this piece right now because it's not about performance and it's not about productivity really at the end of the day. It's about living a life that you cherish. And I feel that your quality of life is going to be so much better if you are in an extremely healthy body. So I work out in the morning. There's stretching that I do first because I don't like hurting my body. So I recommend stretching first before you get into any extremely intensive exercise. But every single day, except for a rest day once per week, I work out for about 45 minutes a day. Sometimes I work out to up to 2 hours a day. It just depends on the day. It depends on the workout. It also depends on how my body's feeling. I'm not going to push my body in a direction that's dangerous. I've been a runner for a very, very long time, and I love running. Running is probably my top tier favorite. I love elliptical also. Elliptical is a little bit more gentle on the joints. Pilates is another one, and then swimming and badminton are personal favorites that I do enjoy also. So tying back into the morning routine and then having an extremely healthy body, one of the things that I really love to do that I feel like most people don't do, I feel like a lot of women I'm not an influencer. I'll never really call myself an influencer, but what a lot of the quote unquote influencers do on YouTube is they drink these little drinkity drinks that have so much sugar. And that's one thing that I don't do. So I drink tea, I hydrate with mineral water or pink Himalayan salt, lemon, mineral water. And I drink green juices and green smoothies. And I don't add sugar. No sugar. There's no sugar allowed in any of my drinks. So I don't, instead of having sugary drinks and synthetic drinks, so I don't drink things like Coca-Cola, sodas. They're called pop, right? We don't drink pop. We don't drink sodas. They're very terrible for the physiology of the body. It's very detrimental. So for my green juice, green smoothie, you can go over to my third channel. I have a video specifically on how to make that green smoothie. It is very, very healthy. And I think that I drink that multiple times per week, and it's about 48 ounces. It's a very large drink. And it's not iced. I don't really like putting a lot of ice in my drinks. I try to avoid ice. And I will drink that smoothie kind of just at room temperature, which is a little weird for a lot of people. If you really need to add ice, okay, add the ice. But I just put mineral water in that smoothie, and I just drink it. I drink it very quickly too. And then what I don't drink, I put in the refrigerator, and then I drink it the rest of the day, throughout the day. Green juices would be anything from kale, celery, cucumber, lemon. There's one of them. You can have apple. There's like a glowing green juice that I drink pretty often. I should have that up on my third channel at some point before the end of the year for you all with the ingredients listed. So I'm very particular about what I put in my body. So there's the exercise component, and then there's the, I don't really like to use the word diet, but the nourishment, right? We need the right nourishment. We need the right minerals. We need the right vitamins. You need the right things like iron is very important for us females. So I go to farmers markets and natural grocery stores. And then one thing that I'm personally working on is preparing more meals at home. I feel like that's what I need to work on more, because one of the things that I used to do is I used to go out to eat a lot, and the food quality is just not as great as if you go to a farmer's market and then prepare the foods at your own house. So you might wonder how you can start affording a lifestyle like this, because it is, thousands of dollars, right? So in order to finance a life like this, you need to be having multiple streams of income. So I have my multiple streams of income. I have clients for my businesses, and then I have side hustles. And then I've recently just posted on my third channel 7 income streams. So if you're interested in seeing 7 income streams, ones that I recommend, you can go and head over to that video once you're done watching this video, or you can head over there now and then come back to this video, whatever you would like to do. I do feel that you have to be very careful with the word passive income, because with passive income, you're still putting in some type of work, at least in the very beginning. And then, you're just kind of like sitting on the money a little bit, but there's still work involved, but it's much less intense than working a 9-to-5 job that you hate, right? So I really love the concept of passive income. I do have a YouTube video short on passive income here on this channel. You can go there if you'd like to get some more ideas. So I would say that I work a lot, but I love the work that I do. So it doesn't really feel like a negative. It feels like it's positive. It feels exciting. When I get up in the morning, I get really excited. I get really excited about my day, what I'm going to do, what clients I'm going to work with. If I'm doing a side hustle, there are a couple of side hustles that I'm doing right now that I'm like, but in the long term, I'm going to be switching them over to side hustles that I really, really love doing. But I would like to say that I am really excited for this YouTube channel to grow, and I'm really thankful that you guys are here, because it's been really interesting seeing the YouTube algorithm and just seeing what videos do really well versus what videos don't do as well. And I am growing in that respect. So I'm just very thankful that you're here and that you are watching the videos and that you are subscribing. That means a lot to me. I feel like one thing that I do differently than what a lot of people do is just allocating my resources effectively and allocating my time effectively and efficiently. So what do I mean by that? Well, okay, for one thing, I don't watch TV. So instead of watching TV, I'm reading books, I'm studying, and then I'm looking into real estate. Those are a lot of the things that I do. I feel like a lot of people kind of come home after their day and they're kind of miserable, and then they just do something to kind of like self-soothe. Like a lot of people will go to drinking, a lot of people will go to watching TV. I don't do any of that. I don't drink alcohol, I don't watch TV, I don't smoke, I don't drink sugar, I don't eat sugar. I find those to be very negative for the physiology of the body and even your mental health, right? So what I'll do instead is I'll take a hot bath. If something is really stressing me, if I feel like I'm overwhelmed, if I can, I just hop in the bath. And at the end of almost every single day, I take a hot bath to kind of like slow down my mind, because I've got a lot going on. So the other thing that I don't do is, again, I don't endlessly scroll on my phone. A lot of people call it doom scrolling. I feel that so many of you are just so attached to your phones to the point of where it's very, very, very bad for you. You're just constantly like, you've got to be by your phone. You've got to be near your phone. I can be without my phone for many hours. If it's business related, then yeah, I'm going to need my phone. But if it's a family emergency, then yeah, I'm going to need my phone. But I can be away from my phone for a really long period of time and feel very content. I love spending time by myself. That's another note that I didn't write down. I have my notes here to my left, so I'm glancing over and looking at them from time to time. I'm an introvert, and I really like being by myself. I like being by myself so I can contemplate my businesses. I like being by myself so I can think about YouTube content. I like being by myself so I can read. I like being by myself so I can drink my tea in peace. I have a very peaceful life, I feel, because I'm alone a lot. And I love being alone. It's by choice. With my loved ones, I have a few people in my life that are extremely near and dear to me that I love so much. And I love spending quality, like one-on-one time with them. That's really lovely. But I'm not really into the whole crowd thing. And I'm not really into this concept of having like tens of thousands of friends, of having a lot of friends. I feel like that's not good, because those people are fake people and they're not really truly your friends. If you have a lot of friends, it's a very kind of like way that I wouldn't want to live my life. But that's my personal opinion. That's just the way that I am. Not everybody's like that. Some people are very extroverted and they need more friends to feel content and happy in their lives. And that's totally okay. That's just not the way that I am. So I feel that I've been able to really hone in on creating multiple streams of income and creating wealth and generating wealth, generating income, because I like to be by myself a lot. And I feel like that's been very beneficial for me. I guess if you want to ask where I find the motivation or discipline to lead this kind of lifestyle, I've kind of always been this way. But when I was a lot younger, I wasn't fed all of the good food. So as I got older, I just wanted to be healthier and I wanted to feel better. So that's what I did. I just started eating healthier. And in the beginning, vegetables tasted kind of strange to me. I didn't really like vegetables when I was growing up when I was a kid because I was never fed them very much. And now vegetables are a huge component of my diet. Like I said, those green smoothies are pretty substantial into my diet. And if it's not a green smoothie, then it's going to be steamed vegetables. Steamed vegetables, I feel, are really good because you're keeping a lot of the vitamin content, a lot of the mineral content still in the vegetable. It's more bioavailable for you. If you're cooking your vegetables, yeah, I don't know. You don't get the exact same amount as you would if they're steamed in many respects. But you're still doing pretty good if you're, eating a lot of vegetables. So a lot of vegetables. I focus more, I think, on fruits and vegetables and whole grains. Like quinoa is a really large component of my diet too. I don't like having a lot of bread. I don't have a lot of red meat in my diet either. I think that too much of that isn't a good thing. You see a lot of health issues when you're eating an extreme amount of meat, but I'm not vegan either. I used to be. I used to be vegan, and that wasn't really the type of lifestyle that was working for me either. So, yeah. I like fruit. Fruit's really good for you. I feel like I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. I don't really know what I want to circle back to, but I'll come up with something in a minute. This isn't really a scripted video. I mean, I have notes to my left here, but I didn't spend a lot of time really fleshing this out. Maybe I should have. I don't wear makeup every day. That's another thing that I want to talk about. I just don't feel like it's necessary. I feel like this world is so focused on the superficiality of things. And I think that there's a time and place for makeup. Like, please don't get me wrong. I was a runway model for a very long time. But day to day, I just don't like putting that amount of chemicals on my face, on my skin. And I feel like the quality of my skin is so much healthier now that I'm not wearing makeup every single day. I used to wear makeup a lot when I was a teenager. And as I got into the modeling industry, I just started wearing it a lot less because I would go and do the runway shows. And the runway shows, there would be so much makeup put on my face just because you're on runway and it has to be very kind of like projecting more, right? So then I would come home, take off all my makeup, and put on a lot of conditioner in my hair just to get all the chemical crap out of my hair. And I just realized that for long term, becoming a runway model and being a runway model was not something that I wanted to do long term as a full time career. And then I've studied in university for 12 years, right? So, on top of that, I just love being a business owner and I love running my own businesses. I love that I have these YouTube channels. That means a lot to me now. I feel like I have such a healthier, better quality of life because I don't work a 9 to 5. I don't do the whole rat race nonsense. I feel day to day very relaxed. Honestly, if I'm doing one of my side hustles right now, I feel a little, I think overwhelmed is the wrong word because I'm not very attached to it right now. Like it's just not that big of a deal to me, one of the side hustles. And one of them I'm going to be changing up pretty quick here just because it's sort of in alignment, but it's not as in deep alignment as I want it to be. So I'm going to be changing that and I'm really excited and thankful that I have the capacity to change that side hustle and the capacity to continue to earn more income. But it's not all just about money. Like I don't work 80 hours a week. I don't even work. Do I even work 40 hours a week? Probably. Yeah, but it's not like 9 to 5. Like the way that I work is so different now that I do YouTube, and the way that I work now is so different now because I have multiple streams of income. The way that I work with clients, and I am in so many respects my own boss, right? And I love that. I love having that capacity. I love having that. It feels like freedom for me. I know that not everybody wants to be a business owner, but if this whole 9 to 5 thing isn't working for you anymore, then just maybe it's something that you can consider. And then circling back to more motivation, like my motivation is the people in my life that I love the most. And then this is also in honor of cinnamon too. So it's two things really. It's me wanting to live a beautiful quality lifestyle, and then on top of that, it's just being of service to my loved ones, being of service to my family. That is very important to me. I guess I could talk a little bit about my evening routine to wrap up the video. Um, I've been pretty consistent in general with living this lifestyle. I think I'd say for the last maybe 3 to 5 years. I think in the last 3 to 5 years I've been living a pretty consistent lifestyle where I feel just really comfortable, and I feel very. I don't know if happy is always the word because it's not always happiness, but a lot of it's just contentment and peace. And that's really the life that I want. I want a really peaceful life, and I want a really content life where I don't feel like I'm just struggling and striving, and in survival mode. Like I'm not in that space anymore. And I'm so incredibly thankful for that because there have been times in my life where I'm like, this is really stressful, or I'm having a really hard time right now, and I just don't have that in my life anymore, and I'm incredibly thankful for that. But if we're going to go back to my evening routines, can open up my document here. I just have an Excel spreadsheet that has everything, and I have it basically memorized now. I just like to have it for like habit tracking. But again, one thing that I always like to do at night is just taking the hot bath. That's really important for me, is having the hot bath. Again, I'll listen to Harp and Pouring Rain. I really, again, to come back to the physiology of the body, the health of the body, I have listed on my third channel a whole component, a whole piece on beauty. And if you're interested in like the specific beauty products that I use, you can go over there, and they're all listed there for you. Not every single last one that I use, but a lot of the main staple products that I use, like they're all over there. They're placed in that playlist over there. So if you want to go to my third channel, Next Level by Serena Elizabeth. That's my third channel, and then you go to my beauty playlist, and you'll see specific products that I use. And I'm pretty consistent. I'm pretty consistent about my skincare. I'm very consistent about taking my baths. I'm very consistent about oiling my body. If you oil your body, make sure that you're using something that is not filled with toxic chemicals. Don't be putting body butters or body lotions on your skin that are filled with toxic chemicals, because then you're just setting yourself up for potential body failure, right? And we don't want that. We really don't want those things. So make sure that you're doing your research on the chemical analysis, the chemistry, the chemicals in the ingredients in your skincare and in your body care. Because if you're not diligent about that, you can be making your skin so much worse, and even your organs so much worse, because your skin is an organ, right? I hope that you understand that your skin is an organ, and it's your greatest defense mechanism. So what else do I want to talk about? Sometimes I'll have tea at night. Sometimes I won't. Sometimes I just like to drink really, got to readjust here. I've been sitting on the ground for a minute. This is like a longer video for me. But what I would like to say is I don't always have hot tea at night. Usually I'll have matcha tea in the morning. So it's either an herbal tea, it's a matcha tea, Japanese matcha, or and then a little bit later, maybe around like 10 a.m., 11 a.m., or 1 p.m., I'll have the green juice smoothie. But it's not the same every single day. You know, I really listen intuitively to what my body needs. I was talking about my night routine, and then I just went on a tangent again. Again, this isn't scripted. I'm just talking about, you know, it's so holistic for me. Everything is just so integrated for me, like the nutrition, the nourishment, the exercise, the training. You know, I don't go to the gym, and I'm kind of thankful that I don't go to a gym, because I just don't want all those eyes on me. I don't really care, genuinely. I don't really care. but I just kind of don't like having that energy on me when I'm exercising. I really like exercising by myself or exercising with a loved one. But with my bath, I normally don't have tea. Usually I have like a good lukewarm glass of mineral water. And then with my hair, I oil my hair, and my hair is getting really long again. And I'm really thankful for that. That's been something that I've been working on for a couple of years now, and it's very long. I'll probably get it trimmed in a couple of months. And then hair oiling. I hair oil about once a week, not twice a week, but usually about once a week or once every 2 weeks. And then what else do I do? The skincare routine at night is imperative too. So I think I want to wrap up with that. These are just some genuine things that I do throughout my day. These are just some notes that I have that I wanted to just share with you guys that may benefit you. Maybe you can take notes and then find something in this video that is helpful. So that's my goal, is just to help you guys. So I hope that you have a beautiful evening. As always, sincerely, Serena.